What's up, guys and girls? Welcome back. A lot of people are super excited for Mega Evolutions, MEO1, and rightfully so. It's a pretty exciting time to be in the Pokemon hobby, but I'm going to break down today why I think that this might kind of be a high point, why Mega Evolutions might not end up being as hyped as a lot of people think it is, and why this might be a turning point in the current Pokemon market frenzy that we have going on. So let's hop right into it. So a quick little backstory about Mega Evolutions. Mega Evolutions were a mechanic introduced back in Generation 6, and a lot of people really liked Mega Evolutions. A lot of people liked seeing fan favorites get new ones, even niche ones like Mawile got a Mega Evolution, Kangaskhan got Mega Evolutions, and they were really strong. They were played a bunch in the VGC. I don't know so much about the TCG. I don't think Kangaskhan even had a Pokemon card for it, but you know, people loved Megas. And for the past like 6 years, since like 2019, since Sword and Shield, we haven't seen Megas at all in the TCG or the VGC or the games or anything like that. So a lot of people have been begging Pokemon to bring back Mega Evolutions, give some new faces, some Mega Evolve forms, and just kind of like bring it back into the scene because a lot of people liked it. And sure enough, just recently, Pokemon has announced that Mega Evolutions will be coming back, and this will be starting the new era of TCG. This is the end of Scarlet and Violet, and it'll be the beginning of ME, which is MEO1 is the base set for this. And I'm just going to be talking about prices for this sort of stuff today and how these sorts of high hype point prices for Mega Evolutions are kind of looking to be the end, or at least what I think might be the end of this current frenzy. I know in the future I still think the prices will kind of hold strong, but I think Mega Evolutions will be the kind of era that gets hit the hardest once the prices eventually drop. Because let's be real, Pokemon cannot hold these prices up forever. And if you think that they will, I'm sorry to tell you, they might hold up for a couple of years, but nothing can stay high forever. So eventually this will return to MSRP once the investor frenzy is kind of over. And I'm just going to dive into it today. So obviously booster box prices for these have been absolutely sky high. I think pre-sale for these are already in the 200 plus price point, which is kind of where every booster box is, which is like normal, but these are a little bit even to that next level where they're like 250 plus a box. Some places are trying to sell them for like $300, which is absolutely insane. Most people do not like base sets. Like, they just despise base sets. Sword and Shield base, Scarlet Violet base, Sun and Moon base, like all these base sets were not thoroughly like enjoyed by a lot of people. They just didn't like them. They didn't think they had good cards. And obviously Mega Evolutions has a lot of hype going on because there's some pretty cool cards in it and new rarities and things like that. But overall, base sets just overall, based on historical context, have not been liked. And I think as we get further into Mega Evolutions, there will be better like sets that come out that kind of make base set Mega Evolutions look pretty irrelevant in the long term. And I just think that this set is going to be one of those ones that's just hit the hardest once this all kind of starts coming back down to earth a little bit and isn't as nearly as inflated. Because overall, people want to collect the other Mega Evolutions. They want to go back to Scarlet Violet. They want to go back to Sword and Shield. Mega Evolution base set, while I think obviously long-term Pokemon stuff will continue to go up, I just don't think it'll be the set that everyone seems to think it is. And people are paying in. I saw a pre-order and I made a TikTok about how pre-orders for booster box case are like $250 a box. And it's like, at that point, you might as well go buy a booster box case of Paradox Rift or of Scarlet Violet base sets that are like literally about to rotate out and have like upside because they're not going to be printed anymore, versus a brand new set that literally has not released yet. It's still pre-sale. You're basically just gambling that the price is going to go up higher after release, which in the current market is probably going to happen. Like, realistically, they'll probably be worth more than they are currently for pre-orders, just based on how things go. But there's a very real chance that this set is the complete opposite in that, and maybe it kind of tanks a little bit after. I'm not saying it's going to crash or even go back to MSRP, but I could see this being like a journey together where it kind of goes back down to that 200 base point and then kind of sits there for a while. I don't know what we see, because obviously I can't predict the future, but it just gives off that kind of vibes where people will be like, oh, I was super excited for this, and then it's like, oh, well, the regular base set was kind of whatever. Phantasm Forces, Mega, I think it's Kaizo or something like that for the Rayquazas that is coming out. People are going to be more excited for those and kind of leave base set in the dust. And obviously these pop prices are being pushed up by both collectors and investors alike. Investors like it because Mega Evolutions is the hot new thing. There's a lot of hype and everyone's seeing the prices go up further and further for old cards like this. And they want to hype in and get into that action basically and try and see some of that profit for themselves. Meanwhile, as collectors are looking back at their old collections from when they were 10 years old and they're 18 to 20 now, going, wow, Mega Evolutions, I remember that when I was a kid. I need to get in on this new set. I don't care what price it is. I'm buying. And it has just caused this rapidly inflating price for these new sets that are coming out, obviously for Scarlet Violet, but now even also for Mega, because a lot of people just want to relive the nostalgia, and that's kind of what Pokemon is preying on. But I just, like I said, I think this is going to be kind of the end of the line for this current frenzy at some point. I know Pokeyini has talked about it before, but some point in Mega Evolutions, he really thinks, and I tend to agree, that at some point in Mega Evolutions, there will be a set that kind of comes out. And, you know, Phantasmal Forces, maybe the Mega Rayquaza sets, both are like hits. And then afterwards, we just kind of see some lackluster sets. I honestly think this new the base set is kind of lackluster. There isn't anything super crazy. I know people are like hyping it up with the Venusaur or Bulbasaur line thing, but overall, like it's cool. It doesn't have that much craziness going on, in personal opinion, but no, nothing crazy. But we'll see what happens. And like I said, it's a combination of both collectors and investors diving into this that is causing this huge inflation on the price. And I think long term, I don't think it can sustain once, you know, if the investors don't see prices going up and the collectors get all the cards they want or don't care about the cards, prices will come back down. You know, currently in this market cycle, we're currently in the hype phase. We're still much, you know, in this current circle of hype. We're in the hype phase where everything is super cool. Everything's the coolest thing you've ever seen. And in the future, that there's nothing that can go wrong with this product. It'll go up forever. And while I do believe Pokemon will continue to go up, the price increases we are currently seeing are not natural. You know what I mean? Like, there is so much rapidness that's going on with price actions that it is unnatural. And I think that is what's leading to this current frenzy. And eventually frenzies and like market bubbles don't last forever. People need to realize that. Like, obviously underlying assets will hold value. Like, I think some booster boxes can still hold value and go up in price. But at some point, like, there's no like tangible reason for it to keep going up besides just it's limited action and people want to collect it. Like, yeah, it makes sense. I think long term booster boxes will go up, but the price action is where we need to be maybe slowing the brakes a little bit. Destiny Rivals was just released 4 months ago and it's almost a $400 box. Like, that's pretty crazy for any price action to be called upon. That it's like, wow, you just doubled your money in 4 months. Like, if you told any investment person, hey, you can buy this for $200 back in May and now it's 400, that almost anyone would max out their credit cards, do whatever they can to get as many as they want. And that sort of return just can't last forever, especially not in like Pokemon. In the real world, it doesn't work like that. So yeah, that's about all I got to say. If you have any dissenting views, like, let me know. I love to hear other people's viewpoints. You know, obviously we want to be civil and stuff like that, but if you think I'm wrong, just let me know. I'd love to talk about it and debate people and just see where other people think about it, because, you know, it is interesting to talk to people and hear what they think of the current scene and where Pokemon is going. You know, a lot of people, like myself, we do invest in it. We have money set aside, but that doesn't mean I'm not unrealistic when I look at things and say this will go up forever and ever and that Mega Evolutions is the coolest set. Like, because it's not. Like, let's be real, Destiny Rivals was better than, I think Journey Together is even cool, in my opinion, is a cooler set than Mega Evolutions base 1. Now, obviously, the later Mega Evolutions could be way cooler, and I could, you know, think that that'll be the reason it continues running. But let's be realistic, it's not going to stay up forever, so just be careful. This might be the trigger point where it kind of starts falling apart and things don't go to zero. Let's be realistic, nothing's going to zero, but maybe things start to trickle back on that downward spiral where profits aren't 2x instantly if you buy it for MSRP. So let me know what you guys think. Join the Discord. If you could leave a like and subscribe, it helped me out a ton. At 100 followers, I'm going to be doing, or subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a PSA 9 slab. So if you want to be entered into that when that goes live, just be sure to subscribe. Otherwise, appreciate y'all. Take care.